You may notice the stance of this particular vehicle in case you want to hide your. What's going on, guys? It's Doss. Welcome back to another real world vehicle ownership review video, a video where certified used car enthusiast Doss Dedicated speaks about real world ownership and reliability on great quality used cars and trucks and SUVs, especially the homies. If you're in the market for transportation and you're looking for something that delivers exceptional street performance while also having the capability of transporting the whole family, well, great news. This review is for you. Because right behind me in the sheet metal is a 2022 Ford Explorer ST, which was provided by the homie Chago, the same person who bought my 2007 Ford F-150 Lariat. And in that farewell video I did of that truck, I also hinted a little spoiler of this SUV. It just had some different wheels on it. He still has those stock wheels that came on this SUV when he bought it. He just uses those for the winter and stuff like that. But these are perfect for this video because they look amazing. We'll get to those in a second. So let's get started. Bam. See, I know what you guys want, bro. We're getting straight to the good stuff. The powertrain. Has he had any issues with this 3.0 twin turbo V6, which originally puts out about 400 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque? It's rated at 5,600 pounds of towing, and it's also hooked up to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, he has shared with me one problem on a road trip to California. The check engine light came on due to a malfunction with the thermostat. So he took that to the dealership and got that taken care of under warranty before he did any of these mods that we're about to discuss. By the way, he did all of these by himself. A couple things to note about this particular model. It is the base model ST, which means it doesn't have the straight package, which means you don't get upgraded brakes, red brake calipers, and also 21-inch aluminum wheels. So he originally purchased this particular vehicle with about 18,000 miles on it. Right now, it has about 38,000 miles. He's done various different modifications and upgrades, but since we're underneath the hood, we'll talk about what's been going on down here. He's upgraded the air filter with a drop-in K and N because it's less restriction. He's also bolted on a new intercooler down there from Lethal Performance. He's also done some tuning, 91 and 93 octane custom tune from HP Tuners. Obviously, he wanted more power, but he still wanted the privilege of filling up at any gas station because not every gas station has E85. So now, after the tuning, he's pushing about 480 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque to the wheels. You may notice the stance of this particular vehicle. It's not just because of the wheels and the tires, it's because he added Maybach springs and lowered the vehicle 2 inches in the front and in the rear. Definitely looks a lot sportier and probably handles a lot better as well. Since I mentioned the wheels, come over here and take a better look at these things. He had these custom made. These are 22 by 10.5 with an offset of 30. Got these custom ST caps right there in the center, and they're wrapped in 285 40 R22 Toyo Proxies. All right, so obviously I got this camera angle like this because I'm going to give you guys an example of what this exhaust system sounds like. Stock on these ST Explorers is a true dual exhaust setup, but he's bolted on his own MBRP 2.5-inch catback exhaust with CV Fab catted downpipes. It sounds really good, so I'm gonna let you guys hear the turbo spool. So I know you see the really cool dual exhaust tips coming from the rear of the vehicle, but if you take a look further underneath, you will see he's installed a differential brace from Steeda, and he's also replaced a differential bolt due to the recall. And of course, since he has this additional power and torque generating from his vehicle, do some preventative maintenance so that way you don't get stuck or stranded anywhere. Might as well just take care of it while you're down there at some point anyway, right? Funny thing about these Explorers in these dark colors, especially at night, is that everybody assumes that you're a police cruiser, so they decide to play it cool when they see you. Anyway, you'll notice the tint from this angle. Now, the owner has informed me that these Explorers come from factory with these privacy glass type tint. Looks a little bit darker than usual, but it's pretty cool. So they come from factory. These windows back here, and then the driver and passenger side and the windshield is standard, but he has matched the tint all the way around, which is about 20%, and it looks pretty awesome, especially with the windshield. I'll probably do that to one of my cars eventually. And you know, we at least got to discuss the generations where this SUV came from, starting with generation number 1. From 1991 to 1994, the only engine option you had was a 4.0 V6. And then the second generation following up after that, 1995 to 2001, you still had the 4.0 V6, and you also had a 5.0 V8 available. Then the third generation from 2002 to 2005, you had the 4.0 V6 still, and then the 4.6 modular V8, of course, extremely reliable, probably the best engine Ford has ever produced. Then you had the fourth generation, 2006 to 2010, still had the 4.0 V6, and you had the 4.6 liter V8. Then you had the fifth generation from 2011 and 2019. You had the 3.5 V6, 2.0 EcoBoost, and then you had the 3.5 EcoBoost Turbo as well. Then you had the sixth generation, which is 2020 to the present day. Of course, now this generation offers more engine choices or powertrains than ever before, with a 2.3 liter, a 3.0 liter, and then a 3.3 liter V6 hybrid. Also, another really cool touch that he's added to this SUV, check out these red lights underneath the mirror. They project ST on the floor. It looks really cool when you're in a really dark area. All right, so we'll talk about a few features on the inside, but I'm not gonna move around too much because he's got it extremely clean in here. Got this nice clean carpet and also these very rugged, durable rubber floor mats. I like how the edges come up, rise up a little bit so it contains the stain. And then just take a look at the materials in here. On this dashboard, you have this nice soft leather material. You got some plastics, you got some chrome accents, and you got this carbon look down here. You can lock your glove box, which is always a great bonus. Seems like these days it's a hit or miss. Some vehicles have this keyhole right here on this lever on the glove box in case you want to hide your. All the door panels also feature the same type of quality material that you see on the dashboard, except on the door, you have this nice piano black right here, just underneath your window switch, and then your unlock and lock button and your lever for your door, of course. And the piano black is also featured right here in the center control stack, surrounding your climate control and also your stereo buttons. And these factory seats are just incredible quality. Take a look at the ST embroidered in the backrest, surrounded by leather and white stitching. Then you have this perforated soft cloth material in the middle. Both driver and passenger seat is power front, backwards, backrest, and also lumbar support. Same thing with the theme on the lid of the center console. You have the white stitching and also the leather. This is not a double lidded storage setup like how you see in some other vehicles, but you still have plenty of storage down there. One thing I noticed about the center console, you don't have storage on the left side by your knee, but you do have that storage on the right side for longer items, pens, straws, whatever you can fit in this little cubby right here. Take a glance at the infotainment screen. When you turn on the vehicle, Ford Performance comes up. And now you have your display of auto, phone, apps, and settings. I'm not gonna go through any of the menus because I don't want to mess with any of the settings. Underneath that, you have a little storage, little cubby tray. You can probably fit a phone in there. We're going back to the nice glossy piano black that's showcasing your volume, power on dial on the left. Then you have your track buttons, and then in the center, you have your hazard lights. And then on the right side, you have your tune dial over there. Underneath that, you see you have driver and passenger heated seats, heated steering wheel, and then your climate control buttons are all right there in the center, fixed buttons, which is really awesome, and dual climate control, which I never really understood the dual climate control situation. When you're in one small area and you have 75 degrees over here and 65 degrees on this side, it's just gonna blend into one temperature. But underneath that, if you press this little chrome button, this lid rises up and it reveals a 12-volt cigarette style outlet, a USB and a USB-C, and even more storage down there. And it's really cool how they have this little cutout so your charger cable can fit without interrupting this lid. Then underneath that, you have your rotary style gear select. You have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then manual mode for the paddles on the back of the steering wheel. And then next to that, you have like a little phone holder. You can prop your phone up in case you want to watch Instagram Reels or TikToks while you're driving. Then past that, you have some cup holders, your electronic parking brake, which automatically deploys when this vehicle is in park. Then underneath that is your hold button. I'm not exactly sure the exact terminology for it, but this is basically when you're at a red light, the vehicle will hold the brakes for you so you don't have to if you're really that lazy. Auto start stop. This is the button you would press if you want to deactivate the system where it turns off the engine when you're at a red light or if you're at a stop for a while and then it turns back on. There's always like a little bit of a delay in that. And then underneath that, you have your dial for your drive modes. We got normal, then to the left of that, we got eco, then we got sport, and then we got tow haul mode. Then going back to the right of normal, we got slippery, got trail, and then we got deep snow sand. Traction control on and off button right here. And then next to that, you have hill descent control. Not exactly sure what that is for. I think that's like a lower gear in your transmission. So if you're going down a hill, the vehicle will prevent itself from going any quicker. As far as the driver's area goes, take a look at how sporty this steering wheel looks. Not only do you have the perforated holes and the white stitching and these little parts for your hands and the piano black and also the ST logo down at the center of the steering wheel. On the left side of the steering wheel in the front, you have your cruise control situation and then you have your audio buttons underneath that. On the right side of the steering wheel in the front, you have your buttons to control your fully digital gauge cluster. And then underneath that, you have your track back and forth. You can answer your phone calls as well. Then your push button start is right here on this cool little shelf that's integrated into the dashboard of the vehicle. Always like to take a look at these sun visors in these vehicles to see what they come with. And this one has the whole thing. You got your mirror and your LED lights, not even halogen. Other little quirky things that you don't really see in too many vehicles these days is the lever for the hood. You have to pull it twice. And then the acceleration pedal is floor mounted. It's not like coming off of a stock like you see the brake pedal is right there. I am a fan of heavily tinted vehicles, but lucky for you, this SUV does have blind spot monitoring on both driver and passenger mirrors, obviously. And then further down to the left, you have your controls for your lighting, you know, automatic headlights or anything like that that you may want to customize at least. Looking up at the overhead console, now something I noticed while driving this SUV at night is that you have this kind of ambient blue lighting that just exists in the vehicle. I'm not sure, I'm not saying it's annoying, but I'm not sure if you can change that option in one of these screens. But you see these two little blue LED lights up here, and then next to those, you have your dome lights. So here we are in the second row with two captain's chairs, which means you have this little aisle. You can walk in between the seats. And you also have individual armrests for these seats back here. Same luxury rolling in style treatment that you get up in the front with these seats right here. You got this leather with the white stitching and the perforated soft material in the center. But as far as all the goodies you get back here in the second row, we can start off with the sunshade. This is really cool. And then of course, just like in the front, you get all those nice materials on the door panel. You got the white stitching, the leather, got a cup holder right here. You got the piano black. You also got a little bit of softer plastics down here. Storage on the back of the driver and passenger seat. On the back of the center console, it looks like you have two more smaller cup holders. You also have a 12-volt cigarette style outlet, and you also have a USB and a USB-C. The fan speeds right here on the left side. You have the power on button. Then you also have the option to have it on your feet or on your head coming out from these vents right here with these nice LED square lighting, and then another coat hanger right here as well. Change the temperature if you want it warmer or colder. That's on the right side. So folding the seat, if I'm even still in the camera frame, there's a little lever right here on the side of the bottom of the seat. And bam, just like that. If you're in the third row seat, there's a little lever right here on the back of the backrest of the second row seating. There's no lever. Oh, yes, there is a lever to scoot the seat up right here on the front of the seat. Back here in the third row, it's pretty roomy and comfortable. And of course, all the luxury and styling featured throughout the interior of this SUV, you get it back here as well, starting with the leather seats. And then you also have cup holders and storage. And you have these little tie downs right here. I'm pretty sure it's for if these seats are folded flat. Vents up here on the top right on your face. And then these awesome LED squared lights as well to light up the area back here. Headrest, of course, is always a good thing, even though it seems like the theme is that they get thinner and thinner the further back in the vehicle you go. Here is your lever. You pull that, and then the seat just comes forward at least. Oh, there it goes. It slides all the way forward for you. So there's a great demonstration. All right, so back here, if you're concerned about storage, first of all, the tailgate is power operated. There's a little button underneath the little lip of the Explorer badging, and then you press that and it rises on up for you. And then here we are. You still have the third row seating sitting up like this, but if you want to let it down right there and then just carefully drop that down, he's already got his mats down here, which are velcroed to the back of the seats. And then same thing on this side. The same lever that you use to drop the headrest, you pull it all the way and then the seat releases just like that. So now you got plenty of room to store larger objects, and obviously you can fold down the second row seating as well, just like that seat, and you can have even more room to lay out larger objects. Back here, it seems like you got 4 tie downs. You got one LED light over there, and then you also have this little hidden storage pouch right here. It seems like it's got a jump box back there right now, so I will leave that closed. Then if you wanted to put the seats back in the position, bam, it just comes right back up for you. That side as well. Underneath this floor is more storage, and then underneath that is your spare tire. This may not be the only video you see this SUV featured in on this channel, because he does have some plans for the future. He plans on installing an S&B cold air intake, 3 tunes loaded on the ECU, with the option of switching without an access port, upgraded brakes with slotted rotors and carbon ceramic pads. At the end of the day, this is a very impressive setup, and I am honored to have the privilege to be able to showcase this in front of the camera for you guys, because there's no denying that these EcoBoost powertrain platforms have very hot and juicy potential when it comes to aftermarket accessories, parts, and availability. So if you want the best of both worlds, street performance, comfort, and reliability, while still being able to carry your family around in style, this may be the option or the choice for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more reliability updates. And that's it.